Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a great tea for you guys today, and I am super excited because I have been smelling this brew for the last 15 minutes. Woo! And I tell you, this thing smells incredible. So I went ahead and decided to do another rock oolong. This one has been sitting in my cabinet for a while. It's called Rock Garden Rou Gui. And let me tell you, I just opened it before the stream, and it smells incredible. So let's just jump right into it and see what we have here. So let's first take a look at the brew. Now this one on this side, I guess, because it's hey Mao, welcome. Since the the brew is lit up pretty well. It's looking brighter on the screen than it is in person. In person, it kind of has like a chocolate brown look to it, but I can see on the screen it's like more like a light brown bronze, almost kind of an apple cider look to it. And this thing, oh, the light's just a little bit intense. But you can see my fingers right through it. The liqueur is very clear. I don't see any sediment at all on the bottom. Now that could change as time goes by, but that just means that if there is any sediment in there, it's going to be light. There's not going to be many heavy particles in the drink, but we'll see as time goes on. So if we take a look at the leaf itself, this is, as I've mentioned before, it is a rock oolong, so it's going to be more on the darker side, and you can tell right there. Look at that; it's very, very dark brown, twisted, kind of a hair shape, but not as thin. Usually, when you get a thin hair shape, it's more along the lines of a Keeman, where it's like super duper thin. This one is nice and twisted, more like a stick than it is a hair. So when we take a look at that, and then the steeped version, you'll see there's very, very little difference. If you take a look, it hasn't opened up much. Now this one I steeped at about 180, between 180 to 200 degrees for about 3 minutes. Hey Zam, welcome. And given that this is a darker oolong, it had the potential to go either longer in time or higher in temperature, because you can see the leaf didn't open up that much. It basically just loosened up, but if I can, yeah, there we go, getting there. I have to work to get this thing open. It's a very thick leaf. There we go. I gotta bend it just a little bit. There we go. So now you can see it's more open. Even now it's starting to curl up a little bit. But it's straight and it's wide. So it has that open leaf look to it. In comparison, you can see the dry leaf is a lot thinner. So what this tells me is it has the potential to go at a higher temperature for a longer period of time and probably won't oversteep, but given that this is a rock oolong, I decided to play it safe and understeep it slightly so that it doesn't cross that line into bitterness. Now I have crossed that line before, and let me tell you, it's not good when it's a rock oolong, because it gets bitter and smoky, and it's not that great of a taste. So let's go ahead and take our first slurp and see what we have here. Ooh, that is so nice. Ooh, I got too excited there. I burned my teeth, my lip. So it's nice and smoky, and it has a little bit of a peach aroma. I'm sensing kind of like a toasted peach flavoring. Like if you like grilled peach and get like that little bit of a charcoal on it. It's nice and fragrant though. It's got a little bit of a, how do I describe it? Like a dark, like I had a dark hojicha once that was very, very strong. It smelled like weed. This one has a fraction of that. Hey, Anne, welcome. It's been a long time. So it's got like that burnt rubber sensation scent to it that that weed sometimes has. It's got a little bit of that. And it's a little bit woody. Like as I pull away, it gives off, it goes from like a toasted peach to a woody kind of scent. It's very interesting. It's nice and savory. Okay, I gotta take my first slurp because I'm getting caught up in just the scent of it. Alright, here we go. Oh wow, that is nice. I'm tasting like a fruity, sweet notes of honey to it. With the peach, like the peach overtone and the woody undertone. And it's a little bit smoky on the back end. Not overpowering, but it's nice and soothing. It's giving me a nice little softness on there. And right on the tail end, it's got like a little bit of a cinnamon kick. Ooh, that is interesting because there's no cinnamon in this. The only thing that this is just the oolong tea. But the processing brought out a certain complexity in the flavoring. Hey Kim, welcome. Ooh, this is delicious. There's a very light mouthfeel. The tea itself is mostly just liquidy. It's very it feels like water, but after a while, I feel like a slight sediment resting on my tongue. And there's this certain smokiness that just sticks on the back of my throat. Like all the way on the bottom of my tongue, as far back as it can go. It's a pretty intense taste that just sits right there. I love the way that it just swirls on my palate as I speak. It's very distinct in the way that I can almost feel the taste kind of swirling around. What are we tasting tonight? It's a rock oolong called Rock Garden Rou Gui, and it's from Tea Source. And I have to say, like, as a company, Tea Source has some really good teas. I'm so glad that I found them a few years back. It's really good. Mm. Ooh, that's nice. This is a very, like, soothing flavor. Like, it's got like a calm smokiness, and it rests right on your tongue. But it also, like, I feel a nice patch of warmth in my chest right about now. It's a little bit chilly in the house, so it's easier for me to feel this. Is it caffeinated? Yes, this is caffeinated. On the mid side of the spectrum, because this is an oolong made of Camellia sinensis, it's always going to have some bit of caffeination in it. But it's going to be more on the mid to higher end. We can tell that mainly because of the oxidation, how dark it is. That's a very, very general rule of thumb, but you never want to bet on it because a lot of the time, the amount of caffeine has like so many different factors to it that it literally differs from cup to cup. So in general, it'll be caffeinated. It shouldn't be too much, but you can't make that promise. Mm. Oh man, but this is like this is heaven. Where does this tea originate? It's a Chinese oolong, but it's hard to say. It doesn't say it on the package where they got this specific one from. Since it's a rock oolongs can come from all over Asia, like including Korea. What was the name of that volcano that grew a really, really good rock oolong? I have it written down somewhere. But like sometimes they come from Korea, sometimes it comes from Taiwan. It doesn't have a region of origin. But well, you know what? Let me see if they have it on the site, because sometimes you get lucky. Rock Garden Rou Gui. Fingers crossed. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's from Wuyi, China. I guess my reputation is still intact because I knew it was somewhere in China, but I couldn't be completely certain without looking it up. Sorry, I'm late to the tea party. No worries, Mickerdoodles. You are always welcome to join. I will never complain about having your presence. But let me tell you, you would be sorry if you missed this because this is so good. Where in China? It's from the Wuyi province. Says Wenling village in Chengdongxiang, Wuyi, China. So that is a very, very specific location. I don't know where that is geographically. Oh, that's interesting. So this one is marketed to be a Rou Gui because of its popularity, but it can still be considered both a rock tea and big red robe. Is that north? I have no idea. You have the map in front of you. I'm sure. I can't tell you. I can't tell you where it is because I just don't know my geography all that much. But this, I'm glad I opened up the. I'm glad I opened up the web page because this has very traditional, very detailed instructions for traditional steeping. I'm having trouble. I can Google Earth it after I'm done here, but yeah, right now I don't want to spend too much time on just the location because I want to talk about this amazing tea. So there are 6 steps to it. So the first step is you rinse it for about 10 seconds. Then you steep it the first time for 20 seconds. Steep it the second time for 15 seconds. The third steep is going to be 30 seconds. The fourth steep is 90 seconds. The fifth steep is 4 minutes. And the sixth steep is 10 minutes. And I can tell you why they do this. It's because they're trying to open up the leaf little by little. Now you saw this one was done for 3 minutes, and the like I said before, the leaf barely opened up. Now I did it that way because I wanted it to open up enough so that I'm able to drink it and tell you guys what the average brew would be like. But honestly, it looks like it's not even doing it justice because look at how closed this leaf still is. So I could have done it for longer. If I was up on the 6th steep, I could have done it for 10 minutes and it would be fine. So this is the kind of blend that I like because it takes a long time to open. So this is the kind of pop that you can drink all day and just enjoy it and have fun with it. So I bought the 4-ounce bag, and look at how huge this thing is. Okay, so I have a good amount of tea in here, and this thing, each one can steep apparently up to 6 times. So I'm getting this little bit serves 6 cups of tea. Not only that, but if you brew it in a pot, you just add a little bit more, and you can get 12 cups because you're re-steeping and you're pouring 2 cups at a time. So you can get 12 cups out of just a little bit, which is just incredible. Let me see. The guy water, teapot, boiling water. Oh wow! So even at that, it says you can do this at 212 degrees and still get the flavor without over steeping it. So I severely understeeped this, and it's still really good. I'm glad I took a look at the instructions. Oh yeah, absolutely. You get more bang for your buck. And that's what I really love about oolongs, not just rock oolongs, but Taiwanese oolongs, because they ball them up really small, and you can do it about 5-6 times and be fine with it. What was that? Would water temperature from a coffee pot be too hot if you were to brew it? This one specifically, probably not. I would be careful though because some pots brew coffee at much higher temperatures. So as long as it's not going too high over 212 degrees, you should be fine. Again, we're looking at if you want to do it traditionally and just open up the leaf little by little, then just watch the time. But if you were to do apparently for 10 minutes, it should be fine. you know what? If you were to have that higher temperature, depending on how much higher it is, you normally use a glass teapot, so you were just curious. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, if the glass can hold up to the temperature, as long as it's like this is a double wall, really thick glass that's meant specifically to hold heated water. Some teapots are not. What they're meant for is you steep the tea in one pot and then pour the tea into that pot to serve to others. Some, those are the ones with the really thin glass. So I'm a little bit skeptical each time I use it. But as long as it's not overly hot, should be fine. Oh, that is so good. I'm really loving this. It's smoky and it hasn't hit that. Oh, no problem. It hasn't hit that line yet where it cools off and then starts to get bitter. This tea is like really, I'm certainly impressed with it. Now, FYI, this tea is available online only. So if you want to check it out, then definitely give it a shot because I tend to enjoy the smokier teas, like the more savory, the more earthy blends, as long as they're not too fragile and then get bitter. Hey, Juliet, welcome. As long as it's not too fragile and gets bitter by the time it cools off, I'm fine. Like 9 times out of 10, I'll drink it before it's cooled off anyway. But there are those days where you get distracted, and then you drink your tea, and it just all the sediment has gone to the bottom, so everything is concentrated, and when you drink it, it's just like you get that icky, yucky stinging from the bitterness of your in the throat. I like to avoid that. So whenever I drink, I make sure to drink it semi-quickly, not enough to not enjoy it, but enough so that when I finish drinking it, it's not bitter. But I don't see that happening with this blend, with this tea. Although, as it cools down, I'm getting kind of a cinnamon sweetness to it, mixed in with that earthiness, and it's giving it a lighter. It's giving it like a lighter sensation on the tongue. This is really fascinating. I have yet to find a rock oolong that I don't like. I think that that's my niche that I'm kind of drawn towards, because I have had black teas that just didn't sit well with me. But this one is it's excellent. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, now is the time. As I always do, I'm going to answer Teresa's question, what would I pair this with? It's difficult. This one's going to be a little bit difficult because I feel like pairing this with a food might be a little bit sacrilegious. I'm thoroughly enjoying the flavor, and it's just giving me like a nice, soft, warm sensation as I drink it. It's kind of like warming me to the core, and I guess that's what that cinnamon sensation does. It gives you that little bit of warmth right here from the belly. But if I were if I were to pair this, I would say maybe a roasted chicken. Maybe a nice piece of salmon with a little bit of rice. Wild rice. I would say wild rice because it has that little kick of flavor in it. Yeah, that's just about where I would go. Oh, I forgot to do the Thomas taste. All right, I'll backtrack a little bit. Let's do the Thomas taste and see if I can find anything different in here. Ooh, okay. I'm getting kind of a cinnamon dark chocolate flavor to it. Like that little bit of smoky sweet. You know that little bit of bitterness that that dark chocolate has? It's there, but it's not severe. Hey Martin, welcome. You should do a Mickey taste and see how it tastes sweetened. That actually might not be such a bad idea. I used to actually sweeten my teas when I first started these streams, but somebody had pointed out, it was Shanna, she pointed out that was cheating. So I stopped sweetening it. Although sometimes, I do add some sweetener, some honey, some milk, while you guys see it. So at least you see the difference in between. But honestly, this one doesn't need it. It's very, very, fragrant on its own. It's lovely. I feel like it would be a little bit, it would take away from the experience if I put sugar in it. But that's just me because I love the smokiness of it. I would suggest whenever you drink a tea, try it no sugar first, and then if you feel like it, add it later. You know, it's always good to experiment, but taste it first so that you know what you're dealing with before you even bother. Because honestly, sometimes sugar can't even save it. If the tea is that bad, it's like you need a lot of sugar, or milk, or cream, or honey, or whatever you can throw in there to make it better. I have had those teas, and it's just like, oof, yeah, never again. But you know, tea is a very personal experience. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. Sometimes people enjoy that flavor profile, and you know, no judgment from me. That's just what they enjoy. So it looks like, you gotta go, but have a good night. Good night, Mickerdoodles. I will see you. I'll talk to you later. But I do have an announcement to make, and you guys, I'm super excited about this. This is everybody. You guys have known that the Chicago Tea Festival is coming up. Well, the speakers have been announced, and my class is online and available to seat. So if anybody's in the Chicago area, my class will be taught on the 14th. It's the 14th at 1 p.m. And I'm super excited because this is something that I have never done before. And not too many people are doing it either. This year, this is the only class of its kind, where it's called Sensuality, and it's about enjoying tea by enhancing it with all 5 of your senses. So not only are we going to be tasting tea with our tongues, but as well, we'll be smelling it, we'll be feeling it, we'll be touching it, we'll be sensing it. with all five senses. We'll be looking at it. I'm like running. I forget what the five senses are sometimes. But that being said, we're going to experience the tea in using all five of our senses and getting the most out of it with every slurp. So I'm very much looking forward to talking about it and getting people thrilled to taste their next cup of tea. And hopefully this is something that they'll be able to take with them for most of their future cups. But I know this isn't going to happen for every single one because nobody's that consistent. But that being said, I am super excited, and I hope to see you guys there. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up things for now. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This has been an incredible experience. I will be posting the link in the description, so stay tuned for that, and have a great week, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye!